Here's a man that we all hold dear to our heart, Lanny Davis, former Clinton White House counsel, occasional columnist at The Hill. What's going on there, Lanny? I haven't seen your byline lately. Are you on vacation?
It's a vast right-wing conspiracy. Every time I hit the send button, I'm intercepted by somebody. So I took off a couple of weeks. I have a book coming out. Can I do a shameless promotion of my book?
No, you can't.
No,
I'm kidding. Of course you can.
Well, it's called, the reason I do this program is called Crisis Tales. I tell about my experience every week during WMAL.
That's right.
That sounds about right. Oh, good.
So it's 5 rules about coping with crises in business, politics, and life. And I've been working very hard on getting ready for the book tour next month, and that's why I haven't done some of my Purple Nation columns that aggravate the two of you.
All right. Well, good for you. Well, we'll find something else to aggravate.
Well, it doesn't take much.
Listen, and we don't need you to aggravate us, Lanny. We've got President of the United States. He had a State of the Union this week. I know that you were sort of a man behind the scenes during a few of those State of the Unions for former President Clinton. What struck me was when the president said, well, first of all, let's point out that President Clinton said during one of these State of the Unions that the era of big government is over. Clearly, he was wrong, because here we are. The president put forth a lot of proposals. Somebody calculated that his proposals and ideas and programs that he put forth in the State of the Union Tuesday would cost over $1 trillion, and yet he says he's not going to increase the deficit. Now, Brian and I had people from the White House press office here on the show this week, and we asked, okay, where's the money coming from? Are you going to cut tax or raise taxes, or are you going to cut spending elsewhere? And they said, oh, in the fall we'll put forth our budget. Lanny, is that good enough?
No, it's really not good enough to say we're going to stay in place. He said, I'd like to see the numbers. Nothing in my speech tonight will increase the deficits, which is really not what we need with $16 trillion of debt. We have to pay down the debt, not just stay in place. So I'm really looking for the president to show us the numbers. He did talk very briefly about Simpson Bowles, and I think that is the only way we reduce the national debt, which, as you know, I think is a moral issue. But I do take him at his word, and now we have to hold him to his numbers.
You know, before the president's speech, some White House official, unnamed, they're everywhere, those unnamed officials, told Politico that the president was going to throw down the gauntlet. Then we had Jay Carney on, and we said, Jay, what about this? I mean, why would you do that, given the fact that nothing is going to happen without the House of Representatives and the conservatives there being on board? So why would you go in there and antagonize them in the State of the Union? And Jay Carney says, oh, no, we're not going to do that. I don't know who said that, but they're wrong. This is a very, olive branch kind of speech. And then the president antagonized them and stood there and said, they deserve a vote, they deserve a vote, and they deserve a vote on gun control legislation, something that is going absolutely nowhere. So what is the president's strategy here? I don't get it. Why do you go in and hack off everybody in the House of Representatives when nothing that you want is going to become the law of the land without them?
First of all, you're talking to a knowledgeable administration official. That's the way I used to identify myself. So sometimes I would say you can quote me as an unknowledgeable administration official. But you're using words like hacking off when he's asking for a vote. He didn't even ask them to agree with him. Anyone who's hacked off by allowing people to vote up or down on something like background checks, which is supported by 80% of the American people, I don't really think we should give that serious attention that someone's hacked off by that kind of
rhetoric. If you have the votes,
I want to agree with you, so
you can get the votes.
I think that he did not move the needle 1 inch in bringing over even moderate to conservative Republicans who want to do some constructive work. There may not be many. So I agree with you. It was a very partisan and very ideological speech. I loved the speech as a liberal Democrat. He threw me lots of red meat. I believe in government and higher taxes, for goodness sakes. But he didn't move the needle in building any kind of bipartisanship, and I think that it's his choice. He won the election in a very ideological campaign, and now he's using that rhetoric, hoping that the American people will pressure Congress and the Republicans to do what they want. But I do think it's a mistake to be so ideological that you're not winning over any Republican.
Yeah, we agree on that, Lanny. Here's something else that we might be able to
I can't believe we actually agree.
Of course we
mark
agree.
mark this down, would you please? February 14th.
We agree with Lanny more than you'd like to think.
2013, we
Lanny,
agree.
here's something else we can agree on. Most of the people in the mainstream media are just bubble-headed dirtbags. Did you see this whole fake controversy over Marco Rubio taking a sip of water? I mean, isn't this another reason why we should just ignore the mainstream media?
Look, now you're going to hit one hot button that I've tweeted about and I've talked about, and I am so furious that serious people, and there are Democrats who are serious people, who actually are joking about Marco Rubio drinking water and making a big deal about it rather than debating his ideas. If there ever was a symbolic moment of what's wrong with either commentators or people on my side of the aisle making fun of a man who is saying serious things, an extremely impressive performance, and also substantively as a conservative, very impressive man. Instead of debating his ideas, which I disagree with in many ways, and I agree with in many ways, what are we talking about, him drinking water? If anything tells you how bad our politics have gotten, that the only thing people want to do is joke about a man drinking water, that is the best emblem I can think of.
Hold it. This is two things that we agree on.
I know.
It must
really,
be the Valentine's Day.
Dozen roses for both of you.
There must be love in the air, Lanny, because we're agreeing today. I don't believe it.
Geez, Lanny, you know what? I feel so good about this. I want you to plug your book one more time.
Crisis Tales. Days of crises dealing with WMAL early in the morning.
All right, Lanny. Listen, enjoy your Valentine's Day. Have a great President's Weekend.
It would be a very big book.
Yeah, that would be. That's like a 7-volume set.
Right.
Lanny Davis for our weekly visit. Thank